friends, how are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. It is generally considered that to be a successful person, you must be very self-confident one. Without the self-confidence, no training guru will say that success is possible. While the fact is, we have seen, I have seen, you have seen, other people have seen, those success gurus have seen that there are people who are quite successful, have become successful, but they did not have the required amount of self confidence at all. They've succeeded without all that. Not only that, this is our observation, rather, the research also says something absolutely like this one. So, my dear friends and fellows, is it true by the way? According to the findings of research, there are certain things which are unusually, unexpectedly more important, much more important as compared to the self confidence. And without even the self confidence, success is quite possible. What are these eight things? Look upon all that one by one. First of all, it is embracing vulnerability. What is this, by the way? Being vulnerable. I am not perfect. I am lacking certain things, but I don't need to hide it. It's the case with everybody. Everybody lacks certain thing. Nobody is possessing all the things. There are almost all the people are lacking either one thing or the other. So instead of pretending that I possess everything else which is needed, which is required or beneficial, I think we need to admit that I am lacking certain qualities, certain habits, certain behaviors, certain attitudes. So that is embracing the vulnerability. Instead of keep pretending that I possess everything, I possess so much, I am complete. Look upon the CVs, the resumes of the people you will come to know, but the resume says that they are maybe the perfect ever person, human being. As a matter of fact, talk to them. You will come across this extremely important, different fact that they are not the same. But what is being represented there in the resume? So, dear friends and fellows, I think that instead of posing that I'm a perfect, I'm an excellent, it is far better that we need to admit that I'm lacking this thing. We need to be very clear about our weaknesses, what are the possible strengths, what are the possible losses because of these weaknesses, and how should I contain, minimize the bad effects of these weaknesses. Now, what are my strengths? What type of possible benefits can I get because of this, dear friends? And how can I maximize the benefits of those strengths of mine for me, myself, for other people? So that is becoming, that is embracing the vulnerability. Never pretend that you are a perfect man. Never pretend that you possess everything else. So the second thing is practicing mindfulness. What is this mindfulness, by the way? It is it is a state of mind achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensation without, being judgmental and used as a therapeutic technique. So I think we need to. There is a we all of us have a past, all of us have a future. So we don't need to stuck in the past. We don't need to stick in the future. Rather, we need to live in the present. So that is what the mindfulness does tell us. We need to live in the present because if at all we are not focused upon our today, the today will become a yesterday. It will become a past, If at all we are not focused upon our today, it will be a bad one. If at all we are not focused upon our tomorrow, about the future, again it will be a very bad one. So, my dear friends and fellows, I think that we need to live in the present and we need to live in the now. We need to live in the present, we need to live in the now, learn from the past experiences, plan for the future, but live in the present, spend a maximum amount of time while thinking about today. And I think we need to continue the breathing. It will help us a lot. So because we will become peaceful, we will become calm, and being a peaceful and calm person, it will help us a lot in giving the best ever, in the best performance, and in somehow keeping us, at an work, keeping us working at an optimal level. So that is the second thing, practicing mindfulness. The third is accepting imperfection. None of us is perfect at all. So why to think? Why to chase the perfection? Because that is quite an illusion. Why not to understand that I am not perfect on the one hand, but I should try to keep improving. I should try to improve, but I am not perfect at all. Wherever I am, I need to keep moving forward gradually, steadily. That is, that is accepting imperfection. So, dear friends and fellows, that is the third trait of those who have succeeded without being so self confident. Now, the fourth behavior of those people is living intentionally. What is this, by the way? Living intentionally. All of us have certain, all of us have certain life principles. All of us have certain values. All of us have certain ethos. I think we need to, although there is a greed, although there is a fear, but despite all the fear, despite all the greed, I think we need to live according to our life principles. We need to live according to our own preset values. So, if at all we are not taking care of our principle, life principle, and the values, I think we will be a total and absolute failure. Although at certain point we may have to sacrifice materially, we may have to incur certain losses and pain, but despite all that, it is very important indeed. So, dear friend, that is living intentionally. Now, the fifth is cultivating compassion. Cultivating compassion. What is this, by the way? It is compassion for other people, like empathy, like putting ourselves into the shoes of those particular people, and also we need to practice the self compassion. What is this self compassion, by the way? So, my dear friends and fellows, I think and I believe this self compassion is very, very important. And in case of a failure, in case of a setback, in case of a feeling of inadequacy somewhere else, we need not to self flagellate ourselves. We need not to, self flagellate. We shouldn't be harshly criticizing us. We shouldn't be harshly judging us. Rather, we need to practice the self compassion. So, we need to become warm. We need to become understanding toward ourselves once we fail, once we feel inadequate, once we suffer a setback. So that is being warm and understanding toward ourselves instead of the self flagellation, instead of the harsh criticism, instead of being highly judgmental toward us. So now the next is the sixth is understanding the nature of change. Understanding the nature of change. What is this, by the way? The word is changing. Everything else is changing. So we do have to embrace the change. We do have to accept, but nothing is permanent here in this world. Everything else, which was yesterday, most of those things are not available. But most of those things which are available today, these were not available in the past as well. Every stage of the life have their own pressing problems, have their own opportunities, have their own advantages. So in this respect, I think we need to accept, embrace, we need to accept the understanding the nature of change. Now the seventh quality we need to create in ourselves, that is embracing the journey. What is this, by embracing the journey? We are so much focused upon our destination that we fail to understand, we fail to notice, we fail to enjoy, we fail to take cognizance of our journey. We need to enjoy the journey. There are good things in the life, there are bad things in the life. During the journey, There are pleasurable moments during the journey. There are painful moments. There are ups and downs of the life during this journey. I think we need to enjoy either it is painful or it is pleasurable. Whatever it is, we need to understand. We need to enjoy the journey, that is embracing the journey. Now, eighth and the last is allowing space for silence. We people are seen, overcommitting. We want to remain busy for all the time. Although the leisure and doing nothing, the downtime, that is equally important because we need to give relaxation to our mind and subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind, I think it will give us a lot if at all we are, having a pause. If at all we are giving ourselves a certain amount of free time, leisure time. So even this thing is very important. So my dear friends and fellows, these are the eight qualities which are needed if at all we want to succeed in the life. And despite the fact that we are not very self-confident, yet we want to succeed. There are eight qualities required. That's all from me at the moment. Thank you very much.